Listen, man, the reason you're failing is because you're not leading. Now, it's not 100% your fault because you haven't been taught real leadership. And that's what we're doing this series, guys, closing the leadership gap. We're going to get away from this old generic cookie cutter leadership stuff. And we're going to get into some real leadership. And guess what? The first person you've got to lead, my friend, is you. Because if you don't, you're going to fail in your marriage. You're going to fail in your business. You're going to fail in your health. You're going to fail in your other relationships. You're going to fail everywhere in life where you refuse to take on the role and responsibility of leadership. So we are on part 2 of our series on closing the leadership gap. So let's get into it. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show afternoon edition. And guess what? We're continuing our series on leadership. For those of you who do not know me, my name is H. Cortez, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, from ThorntonOnlineMarketing.com, where we are on a mission to empower working Americans through financial literacy with an emphasis on personal brand development and entrepreneurship. Do me a favor, as you guys are coming into the room, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Just don't share any links. We'd love to give you a free business shout out. Y'all know I'm all about that entrepreneurship life, and I want to see all entrepreneurs win because we all got something to bring to the table. So let's make sure that we are supportive of one another. Let's make sure that we are more collaborative focused and not competition focused. And I think we all will benefit from that. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the Facebook page, make sure you like the page, turn on See First, hit that bell notification on YouTube so that we can you'll get notified every time we drop a new installation in the series, whether it is the Cortez Hustle Show morning edition or the afternoon edition. Today, we're focused on leadership. If you missed part 1 of our series on leadership, then I'll make sure I put the links in the comments so you guys can go back and check out part 1. But part 1, for those of you who don't know, we're doing a case study on the 5 pillars of leadership, right? How to bridge the leadership gap. And this book is by Paul J. Meyer and Randy Slechta. Of course, you can get it on Amazon or wherever you buy your books these days. The 5 pillars are as follows. Number 1, crystallized thinking. Number 2, which we'll cover today, plans and balance. Number 3, passion and desire. Number 4, confidence and trust. And number 5, commitment and responsibilities. We talked a little bit yesterday on, not yesterday because I was off yesterday, on Tuesday, about the questions that you want to ask that help you crystallize your thinking. What do you want? Why do you want it? Why don't you have it? What are you willing to give up to get it? Is it even possible to attain? How will you measure it? Who will it benefit? Those are some powerful, powerful questions to help you crystallize your thinking. So, Teresa Russ, what's going on, my friend, over at Focus Network Media in the building? Let's do this. Let's talk about plans and balance first, and then we're going to talk about plans first, and then we're going to talk about balance second. So stick around, and I'm going to talk about 6 core areas that you need to focus on balancing that will help you become a better leader. And guess what? Becoming a better leader will help you get these 6 things into balance. But as a leader, not only must you learn how to harness the power of your thinking and crystallize and laser-like focus it in on your target once it's identified, you've got to know how to strategically plan, my friend. And a lot of leaders are missing in this space, right? So What are some of the things? There's 5 elements that you need to really focus on in building out a strategic plan. Number 1, do you have a clear goal? A clear goal. Is it written down in a concise manner? Can you recite it? If I ask you right now, what is your goal? Can you type it in the chat in a couple sentences? Can you recite it, right? Goal of Thornton Online Marketing is to help 1,000 working Americans start or grow their business within the next 12 months, with at least 100 of them earning a full-time income and escaping the rat race completely. And if you want to be one of those folks, then comment rat race, and I'm going to send you some information. We've got a webinar that's going to go down on Tuesday, where I'm going to be showing people the new program, the Monetize My Life Boot Camp, where I'm actually going to take you by the hand, whether you have a product, whether you have a business, whether you already got an idea, whether you know you got talent, you haven't figured out how you're going to monetize it yet. This boot camp is going to take you from start to complete brand with content created for you, the whole 9 yards, right? You got to have a goal. You got to have it written down in a concise manner, and you should be repeating it daily, right? Do me a favor, guys. If you have not already smashed that share button, remember, we can no longer afford to hoard information. So go ahead and hit the share button if you have not already shared, and then come back and just comment share so I know that you have done that. So the 5 elements of a plan is the goal. What's the target? Is it written down in a clear and concise manner, right? That's number 1. Number 2, you must have a deadline or target date of achievement, right? See, if you don't have a target date of achievement for this goal, then you're going to rationalize why you're not doing the action steps to make it happen. But every day you get closer to that target goal, right? That target date, you're putting more and more pressure into the system, right? Hey, I've got a goal. I've got to hit that goal by this date. And it causes you to get more and more focused on your daily activities. But when you don't have a date, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire someday. Someday is not on the calendar, y'all. Put a target on that thing, a specific date on that thing. Now it goes from fantasy to an actual goal, right? So number 1, a goal that's written down in clear, concise manner. Number 2, a deadline or target date of achievement, right? When will you make this happen? You guys get to hold me accountable. Come next year, right? December 31st, 2021, I should be able to show you guys proof that I've helped 1,000 people start or grow their business based on the numbers of my program. I should be able to print out a spreadsheet and say, hey, here's all the people that I helped get started in business. Then I should also be able to show you, here are the 100 people that were able to walk off their job because they joined the Monetize My Life Academy Bootcamp, right? Powerful, powerful, powerful. Number 3, we're talking about the 5 elements of the planning phase, right? If you are not leading, you are failing, right? It may not show up today. It may not show up a year from now, 2 years from now, but trust me, where there is failure at every level, there's a failure of leadership. That's what's missing. And I've got to thank my mentor and coach, Henry Doris, for pointing this out. Cortez, how are you leading your tribe? Some of you guys have already noticed some of the things that I'm doing differently because I started to study this leadership thing. And I'm like, man, I'm studying 2 books on leadership at the same time. That's how serious I am, right? I'm studying 2 books on leadership at the same time because leadership is the foundational component for success. It's a foundation. Got to know how to crystallize thinking. I'll put the link to part 1 so you guys can go back and check that out. And then you got to know how to strategically plan and balance at the same time. The third component of a strategic plan is a summary of benefits to be gained as well as losses to be avoided. Hey, STL Black Biz is in the building. Hey, Eliani, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you for tuning in and all that you're bringing to the culture, helping to connect Black-owned businesses with the Black consumers who are conscious about recycling those Black dollars, guys. Check out STL Black Biz. If you are a business owner in the St. Louis market, you want to be listed in the STL Black Biz. And even if you're not in St. Louis, but you have products that can be shipped to people in St. Louis, you might want to be in the STL Black Biz directory as well. All right. So the third element is you have to have a written summary of the benefits to be gained and the losses to be avoided, right? That's very critical. What are you gaining through this plan? What is the purpose of this plan? I know that my plan is going to really relieve the stress of caused by poverty in the communities where I'm serving these 1,000 people that's going to start or grow a business, right? These 100 families that's going to escape the rat race. What is that going to do in those communities, right? What is that going to do for those families right now and for generations to come? See, I already know all of those things, right? Do you have a summary of the benefits to be gained as well as the losses to be avoided? Number 4, this is where I have a problem with the fake it till you make it. This is where I have a problem with being so optimistic that you don't even want to mention what could potentially go wrong. But guess what? A strong leader has a list written down of possible obstacles. Why is it important to list your obstacles? Because after you list the obstacles, by default, what are you going to do? You're going to come up with contingency plans to overcome those obstacles. But if you're not a leader, those obstacles come up, you have no contingency plan, and they knock you out of the game. Right? A leader says, I have a goal. A leader says it's written down in concise manner. A leader says I've summarized the benefits as well as the losses that we want to avoid as we pursue the achievement of the goal. A leader says I have a deadline of when I'm going to hit this target. A leader says I have a list of all the things that could go wrong, and I'm not afraid of looking at the things that could go wrong. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and create a contingency plan. And from the contingency plan, I'm going to create the training necessary so that my people are prepared in the event that some of this stuff happens. Now, what that does is it takes away worry. See, when you worry, you're writing a check to something that might not happen. But when you understand, here's the possible obstacles, here's our contingency plan, we've already practiced how we're going to implement the contingency plan. Now I ain't got to worry about the things that might happen because I already got a plan for most of the things that could come my way. And then the fifth element is you got to have a step-by-step action plan that you're going to execute to get you to the goal. What's up, John Ray? Welcome to the stream. Salute Millionaire Maker Cortez. Hustle. Keep teaching. I appreciate you tuning in, my brother. This is all what it's all about, man. You got to serve your way to wealth. A lot of people are missing that, man. It's all about service. It's all about service, right? So let's recap those 5 elements real quick, and then we're going to get into the balance portion, because day 2 is all about plans and balance, right? But guess what? It is hard to balance your life when you don't have no plans. I'm gonna run that one back because y'all missed it. Listen, it is hard to balance your life. Listen, I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to me. I'm just talking out loud and y'all get to hear. Cortez, you cannot balance your life if you don't have a plan, man. So let's recap the 5 elements of a strategic plan, and then we're going to talk about the areas that you need to balance, right? So number 1, you've got to have a goal. It has to be written down. It has to be clear and concise. Number 2, you have to put a date on that thing, right? Beyonce put a ring on, said put a ring on it. I'm telling you, if you got a goal, then you need to put a date on it. Then you got to create a summary of both the benefits to be gained as well as the losses to be avoided, right? Number 4, you got to have a list of the possible obstacles so that you can create contingency plans and then practice those contingency plans. So if something crops up, you automatically know instinctively what to do to overcome, right? And then you got to have a step-by-step action plan. If I've got a date, now I can break my dates down by quarters. I can then break the quarters down by months. I can then break the months down by weeks. Then I can then break the weeks down by days. Then I can break the days down into hours. And I can reverse engineer that goal all the way to the action steps that I'm going to do every minute of every hour of every day until the target date is met and I achieve my goal. All right. So A says, brother, I've heard a few billionaires say they have a written goal, they internalize it, what they want, then see it going in their favor. I've tried this and it works wonders. Thank God. I appreciate you for sharing, my brother. Hey, real quick, guys, if you have not already smashed that share button, you guys want to do that for me because somebody you know has a game plan. Somebody you know wants to transform their lives and they're trying like heck, but they're spinning their wheels because they don't understand leadership. Ask me how I know. Because until I started training like a CEO with my mentor, I was spinning my wheels too because I didn't understand leadership. Now, everywhere I turn, I see leadership. I see some great leaders. I see some average leaders. I see some not so good leaders. And I see the results of leadership everywhere now. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? So before we get to the second half of the episode, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you are on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. If you're checking us out on any other medium, Facebook, for instance, make sure you like the page, follow, and turn on See First. I've got so much to give, guys. And because now I understand leadership, I know how to organize and get this stuff in front of you guys in a systematic way. And you don't want to miss any of these trainings and these teachings. So make sure you hit the See First button on Facebook. Real quick, if you already have a business, I have a free webinar that I want to turn you guys on to that will help you establish your business's credibility, which is the hidden component that most business owners don't even know about that allows you to qualify for business credit, right? So if you have a business and you don't have your business credibility in place, I want you to comment business credit, right? I want to see who's out there, right? Do you have a website? On your website, every website is by law made to have to list the business address. Does the business address match? Are you running a website and you still have a Gmail account? There's about 16 checkpoints that you need to have lined up to make your business credible. Think about it. If you wanted to get credit from me and I did some investigation in your business and your business documents are all over the place, it has one address on it over here, this email address says Gmail, and then I see you on Facebook connected with another a Ymail address. Come on. You got to get your business credibility in order. And as a result, I want to help you do that. Now, go to www.bizcredithelper.com. www.bizcredithelper.com. It is a completely free webinar that will walk you through how to properly set up and align your business. See, unlike personal credit, if you apply for business credit and you get turned down, they don't have to tell you why. If I apply for something with my personal credit, the Fair Credit Reporting Act says that company has to send me a letter and tell me why I got turned down, right? So emails connected to your emails are important, extremely important for business credibility. So all of your emails across all of your business platforms should say at stlblackbiz.com, whatever your domain name is. That is critically important, guys. So if you need help with business credit, then go to bizcredithelper.com. Free webinar it'll blow you away the things that we don't know about setting up a business on the finance side. A lot of us focus on the operation side, but you got to understand this finance side. Again, that's what comes from good coaching. That's what comes from good coaching, guys. So shout out to Mr. Henry Doris, training me like a CEO. All right. So good leadership also creates balance, because you can't balance your life if you don't know how to strategically plan. Ask me how I know. So here are some areas that you want to focus on balancing as a leader, right? Number one, family. See, when I look at going into business with people, for me, business, and I'm creating relationships and networks like with STL Black Biz and some of the other local business owners in the community, Beloved Streets of America. I connected with those brothers this past week, right? I want to know that our family values are somewhat in alignment, right? I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm so big on family, and I love being a dad so much. I couldn't do business with you if I knew that you were a deadbeat dad. And believe it or not, y'all, that's how it goes in the business world. When you start aligning yourself with people, we talk about business credibility from the financing standpoint, but business credibility is important, just period. That means credibility is basically your name in the marketplace. I don't want my name in any way, shape, form, or fashion being associated with somebody, for instance, who's a deadbeat dad. I don't want my name in no shape, form, or fashion, personally or professionally, associated with somebody who's a woman beater or a womanizer, right? So balance in business should also create balance in your family life. When you learn how to lead and become a good leader, you're going to learn how to strategically plan. But don't just strategically plan in business and let your family life be out of whack, right? You also want to have your financial life in order. Again, don't be a strategic planner in business and be be all out of shape financially in your personal life. Again, this is why leadership is so important. Sometimes we see this happen where in business, I run the finances in business and I'm pretty good. But at home, I let my wife run the finances and the finances might be jacked up. Now, this ain't me personally because I'm lucky to have a queen who's on top of it, right? But this is what happens. And this is where a breakdown in leadership is. When you understand leadership, you can't just be a leader in your business and then come home and not lead your household, right? Your mental state of being. This is important, man. How are you mentally? Is there balance in your activities in your home that's going to keep you mentally stable? It's important. One of the things that companies look for when they are hiring for senior level positions is, what is the mental state of this person? Are they mentally stable? Your physical health. One of the reasons that I can outwork a lot of people, man, is because I take my physical health serious, right? I drink vitamin water every day. I exercise 3 days a week. I do 2 a days, right? I'm up at 5, 6 in the morning. I do a workout, and then I do my regular workout, my strength training workout at 10:30. 3 days a week. Are you taking care of your physical health? See, the first person you got to lead is you. The first person, before you can lead your spouse and your children, before you can lead your employees, before you can lead your social media tribe, the first person you have to lead is you, my friend. What are you doing to lead yourself into the area of supreme health? Socially, is there a balance in your social life? As a leader, you got to understand that you have been called to do the work of leadership. Leadership goes beyond your company, goes beyond your household. It also spills off into the community. Spills off into the community. Are you at the right networking events? Are you connecting with the right social organizations? Are you tithing into your community with your time and your resources, whether it's financial, whether it's tech, whether it is time-wise? Are you tithing into your community? Come on, as a business owner, you're going to ask your community to buy from you. Are you sowing back into that community socially? And then spiritually. Spiritually. Guys, not only do you need balance in all these areas, you should also have a mentor in all of these areas. Sometimes one mentor might cross 2 of these areas, but I can have someone who has a brilliant family relationship and understand the dynamics of family, and they are winning. They are a 10 at that space. So they can mentor me in getting my family relationships to a 10. But that person may know nothing about business. So they can't mentor me in business, but they can mentor me in my family relationships. Right? Same thing with my spiritual mentorship. Got a great pastor. Loves the Lord, does the work, takes care of the flock. He could mentor me in business, though. He's not a business owner. Not what he does. He's not a 10 in that, but he's a 10 in his spiritual health, his spiritual walk, so he can mentor me there, right? So let me just recap what we discussed today, and you guys make sure you come back tomorrow. We're going to do part 3. We're going to dive all the way into passions and desires. Passions and desires tomorrow, right? We talked about plans and balance today. You got to have a written plan. You got to have your goals written down in clear, concise manner. You have a deadline or a target date to achieve. You got to have a summary of the benefits to be gained and the losses to be avoided. You've got to have a list of the possible obstacles along with contingency plans, and you gotta have a step-by-step action plan. And when it comes to balance, you gotta balance your family life. You got to balance your finances. You got to balance your mental state and well-being, your physical state and well-being, your social state, as well as your spiritual. So if you missed part one, I'm going to put a link to part one right here so you can watch part one. And make sure you guys come back tomorrow and watch part three as we dive into passions and desires. Until then, get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear